RTV6 exclusive. Few can forget November 10th. Tomorrow night marks 4 years since peace and quiet were overcome by the darkness of death and destruction.
What do you do when everything's gone? You don't know what's happened. I mean, at that time, we didn't. All we knew was there was an explosion.
The Richmond Hill blast killed 2 people, damaged and destroyed dozens of homes, and terrorized people, especially young children. Well, tonight, one of the survivors of the Richmond Hill explosion is sharing her story publicly for the first time. Call 6 Investigates' Rafael Sanchez has been leading our coverage since the day of the explosion and has the exclusive interview.
Erica, good evening. This is the closest fire station to the Richmond Hill subdivision. In fact, the firefighters who work here were among the first to respond to that tragedy. The neighborhood is really behind and beyond those bay doors. Gloria Olvey lived in Richmond Hill, and after 4 years, she says it's time. She's ready to share her story.
And I haven't even opened this since the explosion.
Gloria Olvey is still rediscovering items recovered from her home 4 years ago. Many things salvaged police placed in evidence bags. This contained coins and keychains she collected.
For me, I need to keep it because it's what's left. And I think about the things that are gone.
This is what was left of Gloria's home following the tragic night. Her family lived next door to the house, unknowingly filling up with gas. On November 10, 2012, the Olveys were watching television. The family canceled a camping trip to Cloverdale and decided to stay home. Just after 11, Gloria in her recliner said she was going to bed.
Just as I turned, something hit me in the side of the face. I mean, just boom. I thought somebody had come up with a baseball bat and hit me.
We've got one house down. We have 2 others severely damaged.
It's all black, and I see 2 flashes of light up in the corner.
The flashes? The glow of the explosion, caught on a neighbor's surveillance camera down the street.
And so I was like, okay, I'm not dreaming. Am I dead? I asked myself, am I dead? And so I was like, and I just yelled out, I said, what happened? The way it was explained to me from a couple of different people that are scientists and, you know, a couple of the guys from the bomb squad. It's basically our house went and then collapsed in on itself. Our house more imploded than exploded.
Her eldest daughter escaped through the blown-out dining room windows, but Gloria, her husband, and her youngest teenage daughter were trapped under portions of their ceiling.
And I screamed out for help one time. One really loud, blood-curdling scream.
It got the attention of Good Samaritans who pulled them to safety. Gloria and her family were battered, bruised, but not broken. Weeks after the blast, they placed these holiday decorations outside their property and asked investigators for one gift.
And I said, I want an arrest.
The first 3 main suspects were arrested before Christmas Eve. Investigators delivered on their promise.
And he came up to me and he goes, Merry Christmas. And to me, I was kind of glad because, one, somebody needed to be prosecuted for this.
The Olveys decided not to rebuild in the neighborhood. It was a tough decision, considering their connection to this place.
At any time, I can drive into this neighborhood and knock on any door in this neighborhood, any door, and be welcomed in.
Gloria decided to cover the leg scar from her injuries with this artwork, a phoenix rising, with the letters RH, which stand for Richmond Hill. And for other survivors, the R and the H could also represent the ongoing restoration and healing after 4 long years. And we're back live here at the city's south side. This has been a week of reflection for so many families, including the victims' families, Dion and Jennifer Longworth. And tonight, you know, I spent a lot of time talking to many of the families in the area. Also a sigh of relief as it appears that the criminal cases will be wrapping up in a matter of weeks. The Olveys are so grateful not only for the fire department and the police department, but also for those who helped them rescue their family treasures, including this jewelry armoire, as well as a strong box, Erica, that contains so many of the family's personal documents.
So good they could find those. And Rafael, you broke some big news today on the status of the remaining trials.
Yeah, we're talking about the 5th suspect in this case. His name is Glenn Holtz. He has pled now guilty to assisting a criminal, which means that he knew something was going on but failed to report it to police. He was not involved in the conspiracy to commit arson. He was scheduled to go on trial this upcoming Monday. Of course, that is now moot. He will be sentenced on December the 28th. He could face now up to 3 years in prison. That means that the families in this neighborhood will be spared another trial. Also, next month, we're looking at the sentencing for suspect number 4, that is Gary Thompson, as well as the sentencing for Monserrati Shirley. It was her home at 8349 Fieldfair Way that blew up. She will also be sentenced next month. Of course, the 2 prime suspects, I'm talking about Mark Ray Leonard and his half-brother Bob Leonard Jr. Both are appealing their life in prison without parole convictions. We'll see what the courts have to say, and we don't know when that will happen. Now, tomorrow at 11, Gloria Olvey talks about those people that put their neighborhood in such grave danger and killed 2 of her neighbors. Erica?
You've been on this story since the beginning. Thanks for keeping us updated, Rafael.